So ever since I was young, I had like a dream of owning a Porsche.
Sejam bem-vindos a mais um vídeo do Centro Porsche Leiria. Eu sou o José Pedro e hoje viemos até Cascais passar o nosso dia com um cliente especial. O nosso cliente não fala português e por isso o vídeo será em inglês. Good morning, Jade.
Bom dia.
How are you?
Muito bem.
So we took a souvenir from Centro Porsche Leiria to you. Hope you like it.
Muito obrigado.
Não se esqueçam de subscrever o nosso canal para mais vídeos como este e vamos lá dar início a esta viagem.
My dream started more like as a child. It used to be my favorite car, the Porsche.
Okay.
So ever since I was young, I had like a dream of owning a Porsche. And then my teens, we moved in this neighborhood. One of my neighbors had a Porsche. I remember it was a Boxster. It just had came out. And he would come at night and it would do like a noise. I would be like doing my homework. There was something about the Porsche. I'm like, you know what? It's my goal to own one. Fast forward a couple of years and I started, having the money to be able to buy the Porsche. So I went and I remember it was a 991. It was the first generation that came out. So they were like, they still had some 997s, .2, okay. And they had the 991. And I remember I went in the dealership and I had spec'd it. I went to test drive it. I loved it. It was amazing and everything. Then I was lost a bit, Am I ready to do that step? Am I not ready? It's my first amazing car type of scenario. I went in the dealership and I saw the 997 .2, my first car. And the way it was sitting in the dealership, I was like, this is it. It was just perfect. It wasn't as flashy as the cars that I have today. But for me, that car was amazing. 160,000 kilometers later, I sold it. Honestly, really? The memories that I have with that car are the best. I had other cars, but I didn't want to drive anything else. It was just perfect, the car. Then I wanted a GT3. And the GT3, after that, I picked it up in Europe. And you get the tour, you get many perks and things like that. And then you get to drive it in the European roads before they ship it back to Canada.
Exactly, yeah.
So it was amazing. Best memories of so far to date of doing a trip was with my brother doing that trip.
From the dealership and just going around.
We did. So we picked it up in Stuttgart, and we did before we dropped it in Nice around 6,200 kilometers. Then the car did 1,000 kilometers in Canada over 2 years because it wasn't pleasant to drive it.
Yeah.
Then when I imported it back to Portugal, I've done so far in Europe, including Portugal, another maybe 5,000 kilometers in less than a year.
Yeah, that's amazing. You have a car just standing there. It's something that it's not really pleasant.
But that's another thing too. Like when I'm driving around and I see kids smiling and things like that, like I love the fact that, that was me when I was a couple of years back, I love the joy that this car makes. If we go back to my 997, it was the time that my company was growing the most. It wasn't pretty, it wasn't perfect at all. A lot of long days, struggles, etc. Like any other business owner. Every time I would come out in the garage and I would look at my Porsche and I would start it, I had a smile. So, and on the drive back home, it made me forget everything.
Why the Spyder RS?
Yeah, it came out of the blue, right? I texted you.
Just out of nowhere.
I was with my brother and I was thinking about, I want a fun convertible car. So it came out with the idea of the Spyder.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I texted you to say, hey, can I get a Spyder? But I didn't want necessarily the RS.
The RS version.
Because the Spyder had the 4-liter.
Yeah.
Down version of this one, but 4-liter. Then you told me, hey, I have a spot for an RS. And I'm like, oh, okay. My brother looks at me, goes, what does it change? You're not gonna lose any money on it.
Yeah.
So he goes to me like, just get it. but I'm like, I don't know. And then I told you I need like, give me 30 minutes to think about it. So I was like sitting down, my brother's looking at me. He's like, why are you even like still thinking about it? It's like, just tell him yes. Like that's the car that you want, so just say yes. And then I started looking at a video. Okay, so it's the same engine as the GT3, but in a car that is like lighter and like more composed.
Yeah.
I mean, like that could be like the perfect cruising car for around here, because like I live in Cascais. The road that we're doing now, it's like the perfect road for a convertible car. Well, even in winter, you know, you put a little bit of heat, a nice shirt, nice casaco, and you're good to go.
Just go. Yeah. The thought process started at, I need a convertible.
Yes, I want a fun convertible car.
And what about driving your cars on the track? Is something that you think of?
So I did a few track days. The GT3 went on the track like 3 times, but I would love to. I mean, I got this car. I would love to see it on the racetrack.
I think you'll love it because you already know the chassis of the GT3. And looking at the same engine, most of the people will think, yeah, the performance will be almost the same. But it's so different. It's something so different from the GT3. The engine position, the stiffness of the car, it's shorter, everything changes.
No, exactly. I actually drove a Cayman S in Portimao on the racetrack, and I really enjoyed it. Last time when you lent me the basic, the
Boxster.
Yes, I was in it and I was like, wow, I can't wait to get my RS. Okay. You know, like if this car is so nimble and so amazing around the rotundas, I can't wait to get like the beast. In all honesty, it has like 1,500 kilometers now. I had so much fun doing them, even though I wasn't going super fast.
Yeah,
you know, I had to respect the braking process. It was so enjoyable in the back roads, and the car is a lot more composed as I would have expected.
Yeah, this is really special. This engine.
So for me, Porsche, it's fun, it's not pretentious, and they're just well built. Like once you've driven a Porsche, you can't really, I don't know how to tell you this, like the tightness and the quality of the build has no comparison on the market for me.
Okay, so you're not too worried about comfort, you're not too worried
They're
about...
comfortable. They're comfortable. Like when people tell me it's not comfortable, you know, you have the race seats, it's not comfortable. I've done like thousands of kilometers in those seats in one stretch. I have no problem whatsoever. A seat that is like too plush and you move around the car,
just start
I don't like
around.
it. I like to be like tight. I like to be snug.
I see.
If you like to drive sporty, if you like to drive, period, because even if you don't like to drive sporty, like if you're in a planted Cayenne as opposed to another SUV that doesn't have the same drivability, you will be more comfortable, you will be more secure, you will have a better journey. It's not harsh, it's perfect. And then when you go in something like this, it's sporty, it's whatever you want, but it's still livable. So that for me is Porsche. And it's gorgeous to look at. I love the design of it. I find it sexy. It's a car that gives me a smile. So it's not a car that I take it seriously. It makes me smile. If it's not sexy, for me, it doesn't do it, right? I find the Porsche, when I look at it, it's sexy, it makes me smile, it's a happy car. I own like the GT3 for over X amount of years. I still turn around and look at it and smile. This car, I still like, now we're stopped like next to the ocean. I was like looking at it and I was like, wow. You know, like it's amazing. Because for me, these cars are toys. Like when I look at a Hot Wheel, like this car has to be like a Hot Wheel. Like I'm not gonna take it in black. I'm not going to, I'll do other cars black on black, like something bad. But for me, these cars are like a Hot Wheel, you know, with the carbon and this and that, the pinstripe on the wheel. I picture myself as a kid sitting on the floor and going woo woo with cars like that. And now I'm actually doing it in real life. So it's like, how can you not smile? How can you not be happy? You know, like.
So Jade, thank you for having us in your hometown. Hope you enjoyed the time with us. and hope to see you soon in our configurator room once again.
Muito obrigado para ti, and yes, you will see me soon.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thank
Make
you.
another dream come true.
Yeah, thanks a lot, man.
Thanks, man.
Este é o fim de mais um vídeo do Centro Porsche Leiria. Para qualquer questão, nós vamos estar ao vosso dispor. Espero que tenham gostado do vídeo. Subscrevam o nosso canal de YouTube e venham realizar os vossos sonhos também no Centro Porsche Leiria.